7:34.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
29.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep. Oh, and now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
On 1st down, Carr eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to... And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Kendall Thorne. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down.
Blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put...
So far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll run it down out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. But they find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah, can he put it aside? Let's find out. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Mack. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Go. Get set. 7:34. 6:18.
Now Carr throwing on second down. It's complete to Chris Conley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and this shows in the score.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. Broken tackle there for Nelson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Nelson. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Now Marshall. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Steps away to his left. The open man is Smith. First target, first catch, and a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Down! 734. Go Chief. Purdue.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to go deep for Conley. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
And here's Marshall. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run with Marshall, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Monday, down. 185. Get set, get set.
On 3rd down, Carr, flush to his right, and able to find Conley. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. And the play clock about to expire. Andy Reid notices it and takes a timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10.
We got 3. We got Raider 2. Check 3. Check 3. Check 31. Check 31. White Monday down.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Khalil Mack in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. A 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Shotgun now for Carr. That is caught inside the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. Carr now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation.
It's caught inside the 25. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Mahomes now on first down. Flushed out right. He's to the 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Will Redmond. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Well, Dumbo.
This is Marshall. And some room to roam now. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now a handoff looking right. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing on first down is Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Go, Chief.
Throwing again. Carr. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Now here's Mahomes. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. It's the sack master, Justin Houston, who comes up with it. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Cooper was the target there. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
That happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run it into Marshall. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Carr. And that is Carr. Touchdown! Kansas City. Martavis Bryant, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Butker now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail!
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Left, 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 left!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And his throw is incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, and now it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to the ground, this time Lynch. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll run again with Lynch. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 2nd down, Lynch. And fights through one man. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Raiders on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Left, left, left,
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play.
Yeah.
But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick, I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the 3rd quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
694.
Operating from the gun. Carr. He completes it to Bryant. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. That one goes for 24 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Carr now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
24.
From the gun, Carr. The Cowboys got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll run with Marshawn Lynch, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That good for 22 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he stopped immediately there. Marcus Davenport there to take him down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. That, his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming from the right hash. This from 33. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden, they're down. And now here comes Kansas City. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
24. Get down, get down. 180. Hey.
Back to throw. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Now Carr, got to have this one. They'll roll him out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raiders are going to win the football game. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Raiders, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.